So if we look at it from a like holistic view, so what we see is we can divide research in three parts. First is making hypothesis or making a research question, okay, and then uh, using different uh, experimental, theoretical, mathematical, or computational techniques or statistical techniques and tools, and then using these tools try to answer that research question. So we can say that execution of the research. So first is posing a question, and then or making a hypothesis, and then execute the hypothesis or answer the research question. And the third part is communicate your result. So you can communicate your results in basically in oral form, like you go to conferences and you talk, you speak about your research outcomes, or in written form. And in written form there could be, like if you are doing a let's say master's dissertation, or you are doing a doctoral thesis. So what you will do, you will write it up, okay. Or the third type of research writing could be, second type of research writing could be, you write research reports, like for a funded project or for a consultancy project, something like that. So, and the third and the ultimate and final type of research writing is writing research papers. So, because because if you have performed some research, you must communicate your results. You must you must tell others who are interested in your research what you found, what is the outcome of your research. And then others who will know about it by reading research papers or by reading research reports, research project reports, or by reading uh, your dissertation, master's dissertation or PhD thesis, by reading that. So if people who are working in the similar areas, they will take that up, or from research papers they will take that up, and they will work further, because their research interest is similar to what uh, to similar to your research. So it is very important, means if a scientist or a scholar, if he is not, or any researcher, whether it is a social scientist or scientist, if he is not able to communicate in oral form, like in lectures, or he is not able to communicate in written form his research outcomes, then you cannot consider him a good researcher, a good scientist, or a good social scientist, or a good linguistic scientist. Okay, so this is like 33% of, yeah, means one third of the research process. So if you want to become eminent scientist or eminent scholar, you must train yourself in writing and speaking, or delivering uh, the talks or seminars and writing, so that you can communicate, you can tell others what research you have done. Okay, so now come to the exact topic, that is writing skill and research publication. So I will take you slowly in this arena, and in the end, or even in between, if you have any question, please interrupt and ask. Okay, So there was a scholar, his name was Peel. He said, without publication, science is dead. Science or social science or any subject, any where we do research and innovation, means we try to find something new, we try to discover or we try to invent something new. So because we must write our research results so that it will be published and it will be available to people who are interested in that or who are remotely connected to that, anybody. So nowadays everything is online, like research papers are available online using digital object identifier, DOI. There is a permanent link. Okay, so means, like I said, how science progress means, if somebody has done some research, he will, his results people will use, people will read, and they will do further research, they will go further. Because if we are working on a problem, let's say if somebody is working to discover a medicine against cancer, so one person may not be enough, one person's work may not be enough. So what he will do, he will do some part and he publish, then others will read and they will know, okay, this is the progress. Then if they have resources, they have capability, they will do further research, and ultimately maybe after a lot of people, a lot of scientists, they work in tandem or in together. Tandem means one after another or together with collaboration. So science or any research area progress with collaboration, means if they will work together or they will work in tandem. Tandem means once work is finished, then another one pick up and then he will work. So that's why if there will be no publication, then people will not know the results, then how it will progress. So that's why he said, the without publication science is dead. Okay, so let's come to more focused area of this today's session, that is how to write. Like I told you many types of research writing, like thesis, dissertation, and then I said, I told you about research project, sorry, research report, research project report writing. Then there is research paper writing, and means I know all of you must be aware of it, but okay, I will tell you about my views on this. Okay, so I will cover these broadly. I will touch these topics, like types of articles, like in research journals, what type of articles are published, then types of scholarly publishing distribution model. Okay, so distribution model, I will come to it. So targeting journals, how you will select which journal you want to publish. Okay. Then impact factors and scholarly matrices. So impact factor is also how it is good or how it is bad. This we will talk. Then predatory journal scams. This also we will talk. Why predatory publishers are a problem. What publishers want. Criteria used by editors. Key features of well-written articles and the writing process. Okay. Okay. So types of articles. So let's say there are few defined types, how this research writing in journals evolved. There are few, it is evolved as per the requirement. So I will tell you one by one. So like we have refereed conference proceedings. So usually in natural science, means usually theoretical physics or mathematics people or
Sir, your slides are not
or
moving.
social sciences or humanities scholars, they
Sir, your slides are not moving. It is on the first slide. It is the first slide only.
okay, wait a minute. Now you can see.
Yeah,
And it is not in the slideshow mode, sir.
Yeah, it is stuck.
No,
So
no,
now
it's not.
No, it's not like that, sir. You just press from the current slide. You see here on the top of menu bar, there you will find the from
On the
current
right
slide.
side, on the right side down, there is a
And
funnel
even
shaped thing.
from
You
the
can click
downside
that.
also.
There is a funnel shaped thing.
After
the right
90%, after 9, ahead from the 90%. Yeah, press this one. Yes, you're fine.
now, okay. So
Sir, now
so,
again, it's a need to be pressed again, sir.
No,
It's
no, near
not working.
90%, there's a funnel shaped thing, sir. There you have to press.
I have already pressed.
Not pressed, sir. Actually, you are not in a slide mode, sir.
So it is in the slide mode, but
Sir, it's not in a
on
slide
my,
Not
mode.
in the
It's
slideshow
a,
mode, sir.
no, on my computer it is in slideshow.
sir, just press F5.
F5.
Just press F5, function key.
Okay, I am pressing F5. Now I have pressed.
Yeah, maybe
So
this is
in on my, yeah, it is stuck when. So if we will use like this, not in slideshow mode, then probably it will work. So you can see now my slide.
yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Okay, so come back to the types of articles. So like I said, in several fields, it is common to publish a paper in a conference proceeding. Okay, but not in all the fields. Like in natural sciences, it is not very common, and means usually we just publish abstracts there in the conferences. Okay, then there are refereed journal articles. Then there are you can say research articles. So in research articles there are review articles, and then last type is letters. So basically refereed journal articles or research articles are the full length articles where basically you publish your research findings, and there is a set format. Usually you write an abstract, you write a title, you write abstract, you write introduction, then you write methodology, and then you write results, and you write discussion and conclusion, and in the end you write references. Similarly, there are review articles. But review articles are usually what in last 5 years, what research articles have been published, or last 2 years, whatever. So people who are in the field, they have a track record. They write authoritative review articles. Means they are already in the field and they have published like 5 papers, 8 papers on the similar topic or same topic. So what they do, they write take home messages from several studies. Not because what happens, on the same topic many people publish. Okay, so what is conclusive, what is conclusive message from all together, whatever available literature is there. So means, so review articles, that's why many journals, they don't publish review articles from anybody. They publish review articles from somebody who has a track record in that particular field. And then there is a letter format. So letter is, so it is because of tradition, but basically there is no need of such thing now. So I will tell you why. Because letters are, let's say letters are the short articles or brief communication. Means what happens, let's say a journal is finalizing that, okay, they have like 20 papers now, they will publish in an issue these 20 papers. So it means there is space, because previously what was happening, previously the journals were published in hard copies. Now there are several journals which are published in hard copies as well as soft copy online. Okay, but there are many journals now which are completely online. So these later formats editors have discovered, or they started using, because let's say they have already uh, finished the space which is filled by all the 20 or 25 whatever articles, that is finished. Now they have no room for full article. So but at the same time there is some hot research outcome somebody has communicated to editor. So he, let's say, few pages capacity he can increase in that issue. So what they used to do, such hot topics which should be published immediately, or which should be disseminated, the hot research or some contemporary research or some research which is apt at that time. For example, previously there was COVID-19 pandemic. So if somebody discovered a drug or somebody discovered a vaccine, and this result, which is very important for all humankind, and it has huge impact, so this result should be communicated or should be published or should be disseminated immediately. So such results, such hot cakes, that that should be published. So but they have a small space. So what they suggest to the authors, please, your full article we cannot publish, you summarize your results in 1000 words or 1500 words or 800 words. We will publish that as a letter. So that's why. But nowadays there is no such limitations, because all the journals are online, so they will publish online whatever length is there. Okay, so for online journals it is not relevant. Okay, so now we come to the second topic, that is distribution model. So once a journal publish the research article, it want to distribute among the interested people. So there are some models, like previously there was model, that is traditional model, that is subscription model, you can say, in which the authors, they don't pay anything. They don't pay article processing charge or APC. And the readers, basically they pay, the readers will pay something so that they can access to the published material. Okay, so this is the traditional model. But later on, when people come up with open science ideas, they came up with open access model. And this open access model has many advantages but also disadvantages. Let's say you are the, like in the traditional model, what was happening in the traditional model, the material, the published material is behind a paywall. So institutions like Ministry of Education, Government of India, its agency, UGC has InflipNet. So they pay for all the government universities, and then within the university, when you open the on the computer, you can access those papers or those materials, reading materials. So this is traditional or subscription model. But in open access model, what happens? Basically, you when you publish, you have to pay article processing charge. That is pay to publish. And the readers, they don't have to pay anything, and it is freely available on internet. Okay, you can download it, you can print it, okay, and you can read it. So that is called as gold open access model. Okay, then there is platinum open access. What is platinum open access? Actually, platinum open access is something where neither the authors have to pay anything nor the readers. And this is usually happen when the journal is owned by very rich society, scholarly society, or some university or some government agency, where they are using taxpayers money, or if a society is doing that, they are using the money generated by their various activities, one of which could be their members, society members, they are contributing annually a sum as a member, and that is used to make the research open for all to read. Okay, so that is platinum open access. Then there is green open access. So green open access is something which has an embargo period. Okay, like 1 year. After 1 year, it is open access. In first year, it is under subscription model. Means the reader has to pay, or the agency or the university, they have to buy the subscription. Then there is hybrid open access. So hybrid open access is mostly what we see today. Means in the same journal, if you have money to pay, if you have money to pay, you can you can publish in open access. And if you don't have money to pay, then you can publish also a subscription model, where means the reader will pay, or the agency which provide. Okay, then there is delayed open access. So delayed open access is similar to green open access, where after after few years, all the papers which were published are, people means the publisher make it open. So then one more is there, which is called as black open access distribution model, which is basically, many of you must be knowing, like Sci-Hub. So what Sci-Hub does, so there are many this kind of movement, where some people, they hack the keys of the publisher. What they do, or people secretly give them the keys, and what they do, they make a website where you just put DOI. But under this system, in many countries, or most of the countries, it is a crime. So like Sci-Hub has various mirror websites, and it is run by a lady who is basically computer scientist, and she lives in a territory. She is from Russia. So there, that rules are not there, copyright rules are not there, so that's why she is safe. But there is a lot of lookout notice for her, and if she will go to US, or she will go to Western countries, and even she will go come to India, because in India also, these big corporate publishers, they have put, means they went to the court and there is a court case against her. So her name is Alexandra. So against her. So uh, so it is crime in most of the countries, but still it is available. Means I will not suggest. Uh, Means officially one cannot say because it is a crime that you go and use, but everybody is using actually that sci-hub type of thing where you just put DOI and you search and you get the full text basically. And there are various mirror sites. So if you will search, you will find all mirror sites, because sometimes due to these, because this is not completely legal, so their servers are shut down. Okay, anyway, so then there is another topic, types of journals. So when, let's say, when you try to publish, basically there are two types of journal. One is generalist journals. What is journalist journal? Means where these are high impact journals. Journalist journals are high impact journals like Nature, Science. They take those piece of research which are of high importance. For example, means which have impact, means stronger impact or wider impact, like that is useful for whole humanity or environment. Means like cancer is a big disease. If someone is able to discover a drug against cancer, it may be published in Nature or Science. Or some person who has a trick, or who has discovered a method to forecast exactly the uh, the earthquakes, or somebody, he has some idea to prevent earthquake. So it can be, if it is a foolproof idea, and it is, he will prove that it works. If it works, so it can be published in Nature, which is very high impact journal. Okay, so then there are specialist journals. So journalist journals will publish breakthrough, means something breakthrough or paradigm shift, which change the course of that field, research in that field, course of direction of research in that field. If it will do that, that can be publishable in high impact journal like Nature or Science. But if it is incremental advance, what is incremental advance? Means small progress, then it will be published in a specialized journal. Specialized journal, which is very, means a journal. For example, here example is the Journal of Biophysics. That is that is that is read by mostly people who are related to biophysics, biochemistry, not by everyone. So like Nature and Science, these are read by across the fields, and they take work which has potential to change the direction of research in that particular field, any particular field, or it can bring a breakthrough. Okay, so what is impact? Okay, so basically when one do some research or start research, one will automatically know what he or she will know, that how much impact his or her research can make. Everyone cannot, because it depends upon many things, na? Availability of resources, and also availability of mentorship, availability of resources, availability of funds, availability of infrastructure. So one will, when he or she will start their work, they will know what kind of research they are going to do. If it whether it will be an incremental, it will make an incremental advance, or it will make a breakthrough. Okay. So anyway, so what is impact, or what is impact factor? So basically, impact factor was discovered by librarians, because what librarians wanted to do, that librarians wanted to to prioritize, that let's say one librarian has available funds to buy 10 journals, issues of 10 journals. So he has to prioritize which journals he should buy. So according to their visitors or their audience, they have to decide, or they have to keep the range, let's say. So let's say they have to buy some journalist journals which have high impact, and some specialized journals which from the field of which that institution or that department belongs. Okay. So for example, if the department is of geography, so they will buy, let's say, science and nature, which has everything, and then they will buy 5 or 6 journals belong to geography specific field. Okay. So these impact factors, they were discovered by librarians, but its purpose was not to quantify the research or quality of journal, but the impact of any journal, so that they can prioritize what they have to keep in their library. Okay. So the journal impact factor is a measure of how it is calculated, measure of frequency with which the average article in a journal has been cited in a particular year. Okay. So it is a coincidence that today only 2022. So like this is 2023 is going on. So 2022 impact factors are announced today only. Okay. So the impact factor will help you to evaluate a journal's relative importance. So try to understand, it is relative importance. It will give you chance to evaluate its relative importance in the field, not the quality in the field. So relative importance and quality are two things. You have to understand that. So it is not quality, it is relative importance. So relative importance means whether it is publishing things which has to do a wider public, or a wider impact, or it is related to some questions or some research problems or something, some topics which has wider impact or wider importance. So quality and importance are two different things anyway. So how it is calculated? It is, I told you, the average citation of an article. So impact factor is calculated over 2 years, last 2 years, number of citations that journal achieved divided by total citation, number of total citations that journal achieved in last 2 years, divided by total number of articles they have published in last 2 years. So this looks so simple. Okay, very simple. But is it simple? No, it is not. Why? So granting agencies, means fund granting agencies or recruitment institution for recruitment of good teachers or researchers, they started using journal impact factor as mark of quality. Okay. So impact factor of journal in which you have published paper, they used as quality of your work. Defining, they used to define the quality of your work. So is it fair? Obviously it is not, because how you can know the quality of research? By reading that. And who can assess that quality? Peer, only peer worker, peer researcher, or peer reviewer. Like if you are an expert, you are expert of, let's say, pediatric psychology. So only researchers working who are working actively in that field, they only can judge the quality of your work. Okay, not the other people. Or it cannot be judged by the impact factor of the journal where you have published your research. But the issue is the recruiters or the evaluators, they don't have time. And there are a lot of things that is done nowadays automatically. Even, you know, the grading of the universities, like NAG grading of institutions, that 70% of that is being done by automatic. What they do, they collect data from the publication databases like Scopus Web of Science. And even seeing that university, they give 70% marks. Out of 70% marks, they give scores. Even they will not go to your university, even they will not see the building or campus of your university or institution. So this is all because nobody has time, nobody has energy. So everything people want in automated way. So impact factor, which impact factor is a genuine impact factor? Okay. So genuine impact factor, if one want to know, the genuine impact factor is only because only one which was previously owned by a company which is called as Thomson Reuters. Nowadays this company is bought by another company, that is that is Claviate Analytics. Okay, that is Claviate Analytics. So if you will say impact factor, it is a patented, that formula what I showed you, the simple formula, that is patented by Thomson Reuters. And now Thomson Reuters has been sold to Clarivate Analytics. So only Clarivate Analytics can use the term impact factor. Any other impact factor is, or any agency which is authorized by Clarivate Analytics. Okay. So journal's impact factor is published every year by Journal Citation Reports. Okay. And they publish one science citation index and another is social science citation index. And then there are several different forms. You can see the journal impact factor, but they will not use a term impact factor. They use the citation data and they publish, like Web of Science, they publish H indices. Similarly, Scopus also publish H indices. And then SciMargo, I will show you. So SciMargo, is a web database. Basically, out of these JCR, Web of Science, Scopus, and SciMago, only SciMago is a free database, but it shows only journal quality. But in case of Scopus and Web of Science, you can also see the quality of researchers or quality of institutions. That also you can analyze. Okay, so in SciMago, if you will go to you Google SC Imago, SCIMAGO, then you will see this kind of web page. And here, if you copy paste the journal name, then basically you can see a lot of parameters which you can use to judge the quality of any journal. So for example, here I have searched on the same web page, this SC Imago. So I am showing this in detail so that you can use that, and this is free. You don't need subscription. Like in other cases, JCR, Scopus, and Web of Science, you need subscription. Means you need to pay, then only you can see the data. But in the case of SC Imago, so if I will tell you in very means normal language, आप if अगर आप चाहते हैं कि आप ये जानना चाहते हैं कि ये इंडेक्स जर्नल है या नहीं, स्कोपस में इंडेक्स जर्नल है या नहीं, if you will search in this database, and it is freely available, if you will find these data about this journal, any journal, then it is an index journal in Scopus. Okay, so you can see quality of the journal. For example, this is Q1 journal, New England Medical Journal. So this is Q1 journal. So Q1 means quartile 1. So what is quartile? So if anybody, people from mathematics or statistics are there, they may be knowing what is quartile. So there is percentile. Percentile means if you divide, let's say in a field, so like journals, they register with Scopus in particular fields. So if you take all the journals in a field and you divide those journals in first you arrange those journals based on their impact factor, and you make 4 quarters, means like rank 1 to 25, that will come into quartile 1, that is Q1. And then similarly quartile 2, rank 26 to 50, and so on. Similarly, you can see citation per doc. Actually that is citation per doc is basically citations per doc is impact factor. We just now saw that number of citation over 2 years, and if you will click here, basically if you will click here, you can see the numbers. So you can in this web page, you can see the data in the numbers in the form of plot. So I would suggest all of you, when you after the lecture will finish, you try this SC Imago, and it is very useful resource, because many researchers, they are confused which journals are genuine journals. So this is the place where you should go and look for that journal. Okay, SC Imago. If you will search in the similarly journal citation report also, they will give all the data about the journal and also about the researchers and others. Similarly Scopus. So then there are fake metrics. So like I already told you how to judge whether the journal is genuine, not the fake one. So you have what you have to do? Easy thing. You have to go to SC Imago and you have to search your journal which you are suspicious whether it is genuine or the fake one. Okay. So fake matrices are numbers that are just made up. Means they don't collect the data that how much times it is cited and how many articles it has published. They just give some number and companies sell these matrices and call them impact factors. Publishers, the predatory publisher use fake metrics on their website and in their spam email to make their journals look like real one. Okay. And problem, the real impact factor data is not free, obviously, like I said, but like I also showed you a resource, that is SC Imago, where you can find citations per dog, that is equivalent to journal impact factor. Okay, so there are many such impact factors like this global impact factor, index Copernicus, international scientific indexing, JIF, global institution scientific whatever, Einstein Institute for Scientific Information Journal impact factor. These all are fake. Okay. So, okay. So, how means why these predatory journals or these fake impact factors they come into picture? Actually, as soon as our evaluators and grant agencies like UGC, University Grant Commission, they brought API system. What is that? Academic Performance Index in 2010. And this disease is started from there only. And now means एक कहावत है ना कि गंगा में बहुत पानी बह गया, तो अब after 13 years what happens, there are a lot of changes. So because UGC was, when the UGC policy makers, they made this academic performance index or API, they were not knowing correctly how to regulate that. So in the beginning, they were counting all the scores from all the journals, and then predatory journals was mushrooming like anything. So this is I am showing you a newspaper cutting where I think it is in 2016 or 17. So they were showing. So title of this report was "Fake Journals Make in India Gone Wrong." Okay, so 42% of fake single journal publishers are based in India. In this report, it was published. Okay, so what is a predatory publisher? What is a predatory publisher? So predatory publishers are essentially fake or counterfeit, means nakli publishers that often aim to trick researcher into thinking they are legitimate, means they will look like original. Unfortunately, they are often successful. They use journal titles that mimic or copy the titles of legitimate journals, and when listed on a CV they look legitimate. Jeffrey Bell, University of Colorado, Denver, Colorado, USA. Librarian said in email to correspondent, he coined the term predatory journals. So predatory journals, what they do? Perhaps nowhere are these abuses are more acute in India than anywhere in the world. Okay, so this was the problem, but this started because so they means what if you say what is predatory journal, so I would say predatory journal will publish anything, any crap. You just pay them, and they will not do any peer review. So I will show you, means in the next slides, what is the process of publishing research. Okay, then you will know. Means most of you must be knowing already, but I will just refresh your memory. So when you submit a paper, editor will do a screening. He will decide whether it fits to the journal, whether it has a minimum level of quality that journal target to publish, and then he will send it to peer reviewers, and then peer reviewers will give comments, and that comments means there could be possibilities, several possibilities. So I will show you in next slides. Okay, so in last decade, these predatory journals become a menace. They become a disaster for academicians. Okay, so it always happen when something bad comes, then the agencies, government agencies, or the educational administrators, they try to do means try to try to make some regulations so that the things will get better. So same happens in case of UGC also. Many of you must be knowing. So they made a UGC care database and UGC care list, and then in the end they said that the science, for science people only they consider Web of Science and Scopus Index journals, and for others they have made a strict list, UGC care list. Okay, anyway, so like we were just talking before the slide, we were talking about fake metrics. So you can see a plot here left side, where there is on the y-axis you can see impact factor, and on the x-axis you see time in years. So you
Slide
see
is not visible, sir.
slide is not available now. It is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so in the left side you can see the plot. There is a plot, there is a graph, where in the y-axis you see impact factor, and on the x-axis down, horizontal axis, you see time. So this plot looks realistic. Can anybody tell? This plot looks realistic.
No, sir.
Why? Anyone? Please tell quickly, because we have to finish. This looks, why this don't look realistic? Anyone? Anyone, please. Impact, you see impact factor. Every year impact factor is only increasing.
Straight line.
Only increasing,
Straight
increasing,
line.
increasing.
Yeah,
Increasing.
is it
No
possible
fluctuation.
that for a journal, yeah, for a journal, every time it is just increasing? Is it possible? Impact factor can go up, go down, because it depends upon number of citations it gets. Any journal, the number of citations it gets and how many papers it has published, if it will be divided by number of papers published, we get impact factor. So is it possible for a journal? No, na? No, it is not possible. Okay, so it is
No.
fake metrics. So like this is one which I have shown, that is index Copernicus for a journal. So that is fake actually. Okay, so why predatory publishers are problematic? Yeah, so already I said they will not, there will be no any renowned academicians who is acting as an editor and seeing whether the work suits for the journal, or whether it has some quality level so that it can be reviewed. Okay, and then there will be no peer review. So whatever you submit, they will directly publish it. So there is no possibility of quality check and maintaining quality. So they corrupt open access and give it a bad name. So in the name of open access, because in the open access you take money from the author. So in the name of open access, when we were basically, I have myself witness after 2010, there were journals, many thousands of journals, they were taking 1200 rupees or 5000 rupees or 10,000 rupees, and they were just publishing because internet is freely or cheaply available, and you can manage such journal by one laptop. You can maintain a website, you can buy a space for website, and you can run, if you have internet connection and one laptop 50,000 rupees, you can run such journals, and people have minted a lot of money out of it. Anyway, so possibly have increased the occurrence of research misconduct. Obviously, no editor, no reviewer will check that. Whatever you will submit, it will be published. So what happened? They will publish all the crap without checking, and they will just take money and they will publish. Threatened demarcation and the cumulative nature of research. Okay, in the beginning only I told you cumulative nature of research. What is that? Tandem research. Once let's say one person in Gorakhpur University or in Digvijay Nath PG college, one person has published his finding. So some person sitting in Mexico, Tijuana, Mexico, there from a college, a person will read that paper on internet, and he has similar interest in that problem. So he will start working further after that research. So that's how this is called as cumulative nature of research. So that's how research progress. Anyway, so bogus research has affected societal institutions. Obviously, they have fostered the creation of predatory conference. Obviously, general public has access to bad information, no backup. So for by these, so these journals managers, their aim is just to mint money. So they will not buy DOI, that is digital object identifier. And what is the advantage of having a DOI? So advantage of having a DOI is it has digital object identifier. Means let's say this is www, World Wide Web. So there is a backup server. There are multiple backup server. Let's say one day this World Wide Web is crashed. There is a archive. What is archive? Archive is a backup. This complete World Wide Web, all the websites, all the database or storage, that is whatever is on the internet, that is being copied continuously and saved. The copies of those are saved in several places in a physical big hard disks. And when www will crash, immediately it will be seen, and their DOIs of the document will work. So if you have a reference of DOI, but other things which has no DOI, that will be lost. That people cannot search. Okay. So that is the advantage of DOI. But it needs money. You have to buy it. So journals, publishers, they buy DOI for us. Okay. So targeting a journal. Now the another thing is how to target. So like I said in the beginning only, when you will do your research, when you will pose the question itself, and how you will pose the question, how you will make the research question based on your resources, based on the mentorship available, the expertise available, based on the infrastructure available, then you will know in what type of journal you are going to target. Okay, so same thing like I said. So is your paper of very general interest, like I said, journalist journal, or it has a huge significance, then you will target a big journal like Nature or Science. But if your research is incremental advance, okay, if the former, your work might be appropriate for a high impact journalism. If the later is incremental advance or interest for a specialist group, not the whole human population, just few people, small group of people, like biophysics, biochemistry. Okay, but if, let's say, it has huge importance like drug of COVID-19, then it can go to higher impact journal, like I said. Okay, so same thing, big advance target big, incremental advance go to specialist journal. Okay, so when you start targeting, like I said, when you basically pose the question, now what publishers want. Okay, now we are coming to the writing part. So I will finish quickly because organizer have requested me to finish within 1 hour, but it still means we just almost finished 1 hour anyway. So I will take few minutes and summarize. So what publisher wants? They want well written submissions. Okay, fall clearly within the field of prescribed by the journal. So how you know that whether your work is come under the scope of the journal? All the journals have dedicated websites. You go to the journal's website, there is a tab all the time about the journal or a scope of the journal. Here they have clearly written what type of research they will publish. Okay, so so what publisher want? It should fall within the scope of that journal. Then another thing, it should report some advance in knowledge. Okay, your manuscript will be more desirable to the editor if it contains a big advance. So it is relative, big and small is relative. Okay, so if it is a technically strong work and it gives a lot of information, new information, it is good. It is it is it is good for, means good for progress of that particular topical area. Topical means particular topic, contain means covering that particular topic. Then editor definitely want to publish it. Okay, so what publisher want? They want well written submission, conform to all journal format. So this, how you will know the journal format? There is on the website, you have to look for author's guideline, or you have to look for instructions for authors. Similarly, there will be instructions for reviewers or reviewers guideline. So if someone review, he will go and he will see that, and if you are author, then you will see that. Okay, so criteria used by editors, this is where it can be very frustrating. Okay, because it depends upon the editor. So usually editors are very experienced academicians or scholars or scientists. So they know more or less a particular field which from which this journal belongs, in which he is an editor. So for example, he must have like in mind bullet points that if any paper will report, any research paper will report these things, I will reject. If this research paper will report at least this new information, this kind of new information, then only I will pass this in the first screening. Once, so like I said, for example, so like these big journals like Science, Nature, British Medical Journal, Lancet, these, can you mute please? Can you mute please? Okay. These journals have for full articles only 10% 10% publishing rate. It means if 100 papers are submitted, only 10 out of 100 will go for the next level, and that is peer reviewing. Peer review के लिए वही 100 में से 10 papers जाएंगे और letters will have high rate. Okay, so all quality journals use a form of peer review. So first is editor's screening and then peer review. So how in the modern world where everything is online, how peer reviewing works? Basically, all the big publishing platform like Springer Nature, like Taylor and Francis, like Elsewhere, okay, like others, they have a database, and in that database you can search peer reviewers by keywords. And how they have generated that? They have generated that data from the publications. So let's say in a particular field I have published 20 papers in last 5 years. So these people, they will made frequent words from my papers. What is the like technical words which I have used in 20 papers more frequently? That is all computer job. Okay, so they will choose the strong keywords for reviewer, and when such manuscript will come, the computer program automatically search in the abstract or title or the keywords provided by the authors. When the, if you will see the journals format, research paper format, they ask for 5 keywords. So that keyword will, so who has published more those keywords, those will be automatically come in the screen of the submission system when editors will see that. Okay, and they will select from these hundreds of reviewer to invite and to ask them to kindly review this. And usually the journal sends you an, when you submit a paper after writing in particular that journal's formats, etc., then editor after screening they will send it for peer review, and they will send authors an acknowledgement email where they will say we are reviewing your paper now. So now what is the next? You wait 1 to 3 months while the manuscript is reviewed by 1, 2 or 3 or 4 many reviewers, है ना? And they will read it, and they all will be from the same field, so they will understand the research, your research, and they will give some comments. What comments? Your methodology has this weakness, or you have used this wrong methodology, or your outcome and interpretation is not correct. It should be like that. So now there is possibility what? The editor and editorial board consider the reviews. When they will send the comments, the editorial board and editor will look at it. Okay. So there will be 3 or 4. So possible outcomes are what? The most likely outcome is rejection. So most of the time, because you are seeing that the good journals, they are rejecting 90 out of 10. So maybe it is reject. Okay. So then you will anger of obviously. First you will cry. There will be tears, and then you will say, this is, so this is a joke. This is not merely a rejection. It's a bloody execution. It's like someone has convicted me, or someone has given some punishment. Okay, obviously. But what to do after rejection? So editors decide based on comments. So let's say 3 reviewers have given comments. So out of 3, if 2 will reject and 1 will accept, then obviously editor will decide a rejection. But if 2 will give acceptance or revision, they will say revise based on the comments, and 1 is saying rejection, then editor will give chance to the authors, and he will send the comments to the authors, and then authors have to read the comments, and they have to make point by point response, and they have to upgrade their manuscript, their paper, based on, in the light of those comments, and then they have to send it back to the editor, and then editor sometimes read the response and the revised version of manuscript himself, and sometimes he will send again back to the reviewers who gave the comments. So usually what you should do if your paper is rejected and you got the comments, basically you improve your manuscript based on the comments, and then you will look for another journal and you will send it there. And if editor has given you chance to revise, then basically you do it, and you do it very in very prompt way, very perfect way, so that the editor and the reviewers who have reviewed your paper, they will be able to understand all these things which you are saying that now we have improved, and they should be convinced. Then only they can accept in this second round. Okay. However, when editors are stretched for time and the reviewers are unpaid experts, so there is a lot of mismanagement also. Sometimes we feel very bad because our paper is rejected unjustifiably. Okay. So what will happen means, okay, maybe रिव्यूअर का मूड खराब है, उसकी बीवी ने उसको डांटा है, और वो आया है काम पे और उसके पास टाइम है नहीं, और उसने क्या किया, he has just put rubbish comments without any good reason, because it is unpaid job, it is thankless job. But these are not good scientists or good scholars who will not control their emotions, and they will not understand that a lot of hard work is gone into this manuscript by the authors. Okay. But it happens sometimes, people have in different mood, so it's like, and editors are like judge. So it happens that if a justice goes to court and he has not good mood, because sometimes things are not black and white, they are gray. So if he is in bad mood, maybe something is in gray, he can say it is black. If he is in good mood, then he can say something which is gray, okay, it is towards white, so it is okay. Something like that. I think you understood. Anyway, so okay, so I already said when it is rejected, what you have to do. Move on to the next journal, or if you have a case, like if you will read the comments and you see it is unjustifiable comment, it is not, it don't looks valid. So what you can say, you can write back to editor and you can complain in a polite and clear way with logical argument that your paper was rejected by the reviewers wrongly and why you think that. So then you will write a clear and fact centered rebuttal of the criticism. Okay, if not satisfied with the editor's response, then you can reach to the managing editor. So there is a editor in chief, then there is managing editor. Managing editor who is the employee of the publisher usually. Okay, and editor in chief is basically academician who is very good in that field. That's why journal has chosen him to become editor in chief. Anyway, so that was the rejection. Another more desirable outcomes I told, you are requested to submit a revised manuscript. This I told you obtain unqualified acceptance. Means this is, so I have published around 120 papers in Scopus index journals, and this happened only one time in my life, that I have submitted the paper and after 3 months I received an acceptance letter from the editor without any comments. This is, that's why here it is written, you obtain unqualified acceptance without any comment.